Hello golfers, and welcome to the Jess Golf Academy YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining me, and happy 2022. Today I want to talk to you about the trail arm secret, because a lot of golfers come to me for golf lessons and they're out of position immediately right at their setup. And if you look at all the best players in the world, their setups are so good, and their trail arms, for me, my right arm, I say trail arm just in case there's a lefty out there, but for me, as a right-handed golfer, it's my right arm, it's my trail arm. And how do I position it on the club? You get out of position right away, that's going to cause you to come over the top. It's going to have you hitting slices, top shots, and shots that you just don't want on the golf course. And I see it all day long here at the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club here in Deerfield Beach. When people are hitting shots, they have to get, they take their right arm, they usually have their elbow out and their right hand higher than their left. So they have at address, you can see here is that my right arm is higher than my left. And so that automatically puts my shoulders to the left. It puts my shoulders to the left. It automatically opens my hips and sets my weight back. And so what we want is we want the opposite of that. We want to take that right elbow, for me, my trail arm, and turn it under. So one of the keys that I give people lessons like this all the time, and I say, all right, just take your right hand, right palm, and pretend like you're going to do a curl with it. So you can see here, my right elbow pocket is facing the camera. So this is crucial here. So when I set up to it, my right palm is to the sky. Now my right wrist works independently of my right elbow. You can see is that I can turn my right wrist and my right elbow pocket does not move. So most people will take the club and they'll get underneath and they'll be like this here. So their right hand will be way underneath and their elbow will be out. And so really what we want is that right into this curl position, right elbow under, and then from there we're going to take this hand and turn it under. So what it does is it gives us a position where now my right arm is lower than my left. I have a little bend in my right arm. My right arm is attached to my body here. My upper arm is pulled in. It's not away from me like I see most golfers do. Most golfers have that right arm high and over the top of the club. So underneath, so you can see that I really get my elbow underneath. And then my arms at address, you can see now they're close together. Most golfers, when they come to me, their elbows are apart. Their elbows are looking, their right elbow looks behind them, their left elbow looks down the target line. And so for here, the right arm, trail arm, elbow is I can get it underneath. I can crank this arm underneath here. And it's going to set me into a really good position. Now, with the right arm underneath, it sets my shoulders square. It keeps my hips square. It's easier for me to keep my weight on my front foot. And then from here, it's just much easier to hit a shot. And the ball's going to draw like that right there. So that was really solid. And it comes from not understanding how to put your right arm on the club, right hand on the club. So most people are turning their whole arm. It actually starts from their shoulder. They start to internally rotate their shoulder and arm when they're trying to grip the club. And then you start to get some really funky grips. Like some grips are underneath, some grips are way over the top. And so if you think about the upper arm here, getting your elbow underneath, connecting it to your right, underneath your right arm here. So there's a little connection, okay? And then turning your right hand independently of that, then you're able to set up to the ball again. So now my handle's forward, my handle's not back. Usually a lot of people get the handle back, weight back, and now they're already set up to hit a slice. So these are things that you can really work on. Very simple technique. If you look at the best players in the world, their right elbow pocket is always facing the camera towards you there. And then they can turn that right wrist independently of the right arm. So you can see how the setup looks. My elbows are together. Now it's much easier for me to hit shots, high draw. So get set up right away into a good solid setup with the right arm, trail arm. It's going to make the game much easier for you, to be able to put that arm on the club or to put that hand on the club correctly. this is something that, you know, just think of setup as your platform. If you're off the platform and you're already into a poor position at address, then it's going to be very difficult for you to recover from there. So why not start in position number one, set up into a place where you can really make a good swing and just not, you know, not worry about making compensations and trying to hit the ball with a draw, with open shoulders, elbow high, and your body to the left. So that's the one thing that I see that I know that could really help you. So the trail arm magic, setting this arm underneath, okay. What it also does, this is now into the swing. So from here, once I get my right arm, you know, everybody talks about consistency and hitting the ball more solid and hitting the ball in the same shape every time. Okay, so what this does is this makes you have a really easy golf swing that's consistent, where right now, since my right arm's set underneath, if I just take this club back and I keep that right arm in the same position, now I'm in a position at the top of my swing. Now I'm in a position at the top of my swing. Since my right arm's in a good position already, you can see is that all I'm doing is by tilting my shoulders and swing my arm around, it's in the same position. So immediately, now you can come from the inside. Now the club head's behind my hands. Okay, now I can hit out at the ball. And that's why tour players are so consistent, because they're not twisting their hands and arms. Their right arm isn't going higher than their left. They're not casting this. So that's another thing that works really well with the right arm. So the right arm magic also works for when you're somebody who casts and come across the ball. You can see how my right elbow now is out facing behind me, where if I take this right arm underneath, and all I do is I do the same thing, take it back. Now I'm in the same position here from setup to the top of my swing. So it makes it very easy to think about that. So you go from setup with the right elbow under, right arm under, to the top of the swing. It's the same position. And then as I come down, notice where the right arm is, the right elbow pocket's facing the camera. I'm into P6 here at shaft parallel to the ground. And then as I hit the ball, now you can see that right arm. So it starts in the position here at address, goes back. You can see still the right elbow pockets facing the camera, to the top, back down. You can see it's the same, returns to the same position, back into the back of the ball, and then through and around. So by getting your setup correct with the right arm, it eliminates a ton of other issues in your golf swing. So this is something that I know can help your game. I know can help you get better right away. Think about the right arm. Like I said, the easiest way to do it, I always go, okay, let's just set the right arm against you this way here with the, like if you're going to do a curl. Okay, you wouldn't do a curl out here. This would not be a good curl for you if you're lifting weights. You'd have your right arm kind of against your body, supporting it. So here's my right wrist. I can even bend my right wrist back a little bit. So you can see here, now my right wrist is in a good position. So from setup to the top of the swing, back down into impact, you can see that I get into a really good, good impact position as well. So right arm underneath here. So I've hit 3 shots, all the same direction, all the same height. It hasn't overdrawn. The ball's gone out to the right, curved in a little bit. So this is something that I know can help your game, no matter who you are, because I see it all the time here at Deer Creek. I see people out of position right away. And again, just very easy way to do it. Right arm curl. Turn the wrist independently of the right elbow. Make sure you have the connection from the right arm to the side. So when you go to the top now, I'm in a really good position. Remember, it's the same. Here's the right arm at address. Here's the right arm at the top. Puts me in a position now where that club is shallow. so you don't have to think about looping it or anything else that you need to do in your swing. All you're doing is you're just taking it back and through, hitting the ball solid, and it'll help you a ton. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and share it out with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. You know, I love teaching this game. I've been teaching for over 20 years. It's a pleasure for me to bring this information to you because of all the positive comments that come back to me. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.